Welcome back, everybody. This is Brother Moon here. Today we're going to continue our quest with Dora and his ragtag team. We have our two assistants, our Triumvirate. I am running solo currently. We're about to head back to base. I didn't stress the importance enough of why I was so happy that I leveled up. So let's just talk about that for a quick moment. First, though, just to point out something here for those who have never played Pathfinder Kingmaker or seen any of my previous videos in this run-through, know that I am using mods. So that's going to be something that's different for me than your vanilla version of the game. Turn-based combat being the most obvious, but I have extra spells, extra feats, extra abilities that you may not have because of Eldritch Arcana. Very recommended. Also things like I can cheat, sort of. Bag of tricks, cheats, and tools. Matter of fact, we should actually look at that just so I can show you what it kind of does. I'm not going to cheat again. I did earlier at the very first video, for those of you that weren't paying attention. I did cheat. I used the Bag of Tricks to gift my character all the first level spells in scroll form, as well as one spell from level 2. I gave a reason for that, and I stand by it. But this would be a way I can show you how the Bag of Tricks actually works. So first, let's do that. So Control F10, I believe, is the one that unlocks it. You'll hear. Notice that we can do a variety of things. This is a laundry list of stuff, and we're not going to go through all of them. The two main ones, well, probably three main ones, would be character creation, progression, and experience. Notice that I can literally force level up a single character or all the characters based on the amount of XP to give them. I'm not doing that, but you could if you wanted to test a level 20 build. That's how you would do it. You would come down to here where it says party experience, delete the 1 and type in 3, 6, and 5 zeros after that. So 3, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then you would have that number listed here by anyone that's on the team. Click their name, boom, level 20. You get to level them up, of course, from 1 to 20, but it's amazing. That's how I test out my builds now instead of doing it the old-fashioned way. Rest and rations is another one that you'd want for the ability to do instant rest. Literally, it's like I want to redo my spells to check something out. Okay, instant rest. I didn't waste any time. Just poof, you're basically gifted everything back, and just like you rested, but it costs 0 time. Obviously a cheat, and again, all these are cheats and tools. Other stuff, though, are, to me that's important, is items and equipment. Okay, so if you wanted to, gift yourself an item, you would type it in here. Let's say we just wanted just a simple dagger +1. Type search, and you'll see a bunch of the daggers +1s that show up in the game. Okay, so dagger +1, a punching dagger, an agile dagger +1. Basically, if dagger +1 is in the title, then that's basically what's going to happen. You can expand it to include descriptions and flavor text when you don't know for certain what you're looking for. By the way, to gift it to yourself, you click this. Don't do that if you don't want to cheat. If you want to read up on it, you can click here, and it gives you a description if it's usually like a named weapon. So let's give you another example. I'm going to show you a weapon in the game that I am shooting for. Okay, so this is called Perfection. This is literally a enable filters, and I'm going to limit it to just weapons. Basically turn off everything but weapons, and it limits it to any weapon that has perfection in the object name, the item name, in its description, or flavor text. And as you can see, there's only one. I'm not going to gift it to myself. I'm going to earn it the old-fashioned way, but this shows you what it does. This is the longsword I'm shooting for. A +5 longsword. It has a +2 inherent bonus to armor class, all saving throws, attack rolls, and skill checks. And inherent bonuses stack with all other different kinds. And I don't think there's a whole lot of other inherent bonuses out there. So if I have like a cloak of resistance, those saving throws bonuses are usually resistance bonuses. That's like a +1 to +5 cloak of resistance. So that would stack with this +2. So I could get a total of at least a +5, so +7 to +8 maybe for my saving throws from just 2 items, the sword that I'm carrying and a cloak on my back. I get a bonus to attack rolls. Remember, when you do your spell attacks, when you channel your weapon through your, or spell through your weapon, and it's a -2 to your weapon swing for all the swings in that combat round. Well, this 2 basically takes care of that -2 penalty, technically speaking, right? Yes, I'm losing my bonus, but I don't have my penalty anymore. It's a wash. I call that good. Same with skill checks. All my skills, so long as I can use them, +2 to them, and any other bonuses that I may have from things like the hat that Jubilos has, that cool derby hat or whatever that he's got, the little wizard's hat. That thing's a +2 to all his skills, but it's not an inherent bonus. It's competence bonus. And again, because it's competence versus inherent, they would stack. So a +2 and a +2. I'd have a +4 on every skill that I've unlocked. That's pretty awesome, right? So again, you see the appeal here. The reason I show you this is so that you can look for things. Notice perfection was the name of the weapon. If you didn't know, you could look by a variety of other things. By highlighting all these four, you can find things like, say, maybe you just want to find, is there any weapons out there that buff dexterity? Because maybe you're a dexterity-based character, and I'd like to have more. Click search after typing in dexterity, or you can even abbreviate it by going like dext, like that. That's usually good enough. So if you're not sure about your spelling. But see, these are the weapons that line up. So open them and see what they have to offer. Here's one of particular interest for those of you that would want to play an Eldritch Archer. This is a subclass of the Magus classes, the one that instead of channeling through their melee weapon, their melee touch attacks, they can channel ray spells or ranged touch attacks through their ranged weapon. Now that can be a dart, a javelin, shuriken, any crossbow bolt, or any longbow or shortbow arrow. So this +5 holy composite longbow is an awesome choice for them. Notice that it's not just a dex bonus, it's a sacred dex bonus. And again, it gives you a little information about who's going to make it for you. Chances are this is probably one of their upper level weapons that they'll gift you. This is an artisan that you can hire. But this sacred bonus is important because of the fact that the belts of dexterity, for example, are enhancements. Okay? They would not stack if you found another enhancement, +2, +4, plus whatever for dexterity. If you already have a dexterity buff, whichever is the highest is the one you win. So this is a sacred bonus, which means it would stack with the best dexterity belt you have, which is a +8. So +8 and +4, you have an extra 12 dexterity from just having the weapon in your hand that you know you wanted anyway, and a kick-ass belt on. You see what I'm saying here? This is a way to check for stuff. And when I found out that sacred was a choice, usually that's what I look for. And then so you could literally type in sacred and unlock everything. Except for, like, I don't usually do keys, and I usually don't do notes because I don't give a rat's ass. I mean, literally, it's in the notes. It'll say sacred in the notes somewhere, and that's not something you can officially use. But notice here's tiger stripes. Nothing in here that says sacred, so it's probably something here in the flavor text. So ignore it, move on. Blessed path. Here's one. Enhancement to wisdom and charisma, and a sacred bonus to saving throws. See that? And again, would stack with resistance bonus to saving throws. Again, that's what you would do to piecemeal or to find the names of the gear or the items you might want to look for. Here's one that's a nice bonus to initiative checks. A sacred bonus to initiative checks. Again, an Undead Bane spear. Pretty awesome, right? Has the ability to cast spells and stuff besides. Hunter's Blessing, we already talked about it for dexterity. If that's not your thing, maybe you're looking for something that dumps your constitution, right? Now, if it's too many on the list, it'll tell you. I think it can only handle about 100 at a time. So if it says too many, says, oh, there's over 100 blah-de-blahs, then just start, limiting out your choices until you get it to show up, and then check the other ones that you shut off, right? So I usually shut off the top half, leave the bottom half on, check for it. Okay, here's one I want to write down on a piece of paper so I know it's in the game somewhere probably. Whether I can find it or not, it's another story. And then I shut off the bottom ones and turn the top ones back on and say, okay, here's the other ones. This is important. Now, I wanted to show you this because of a couple things that stick out. Well, besides your enhancement bonus to con, remember, this is an amulet. Not only that, but it gives you a nice deflection bonus to armor class, which is a solid 1-2 bonus there. Takes up your next slot, your only next slot. But remember, your belts of physical perfection, this is what I was talking about for your dex, your strength, and your con being a +8. Again, it's an enhancement. So only the best one works. Since this one is only a +6, if you were wearing this belt, this is a +888. This one would work. Yes, you would get the deflection bonus from this guy here, because that is new and novel, but you would lose the con bonus because they won't stack because it's both enhancements. However, let's say you wanted to be super con man, where you literally have ridiculous amounts of constitution. There is one other piece of gear out here. Gentle persuasion? No, it's missing. Okay, so how did I find it last time? Okay, so I need to find, I think it's morale. Highwayman's argument. No. Carefree Hunter. That's a morale bonus to dexterity. Obviously, you can't have more than one weapon in your hand at a time. But again, a halfling sling staff. So again, if you wanted to be a Eldritch Archer, that includes any ranged weapon, including sling staffs. You could have another +2 to your dexterity. It's not amazing like the other one that was a +4 for the sacred bonus, but this is still up in the right direction. But there is a piece of gear or a weapon out there that's a morale bonus to your con. Is it the Rigid Oak Staff? Here. Why it didn't show up a moment ago, I don't know. Maybe I typed it in wrong. This +2 quarterstaff grants its wielder a +4 morale bonus to con. Morale, not enhancement. Morale. So as long as you're holding that quarterstaff in your hand, and the sad part is this, it's not the best quarterstaff in the world. But, again, if you're okay with that, that's an extra 2 hit points, guys, per level of your character. So if you're level 20 by the end of this game, that's 40 extra hit points always on your character for doing nothing more than carrying your staff in your hand at all times. And notice this, it's a bonus to fortitude saves, that's a morale bonus, and because you raise your constitution 4 points, there's another 2 points added to your fortitude saves. So by carrying this around as a wizard, you have not only extra hit points, extra con, you have an extra +4, technically speaking, to your fortitude saves from just having one thing in your hand. And it has this cool ass ability to cast resist sonic spell, who cares, twice per day as a level 4 wizard. It's cool, I'll take it, but you get the point. This is how I build a character. Now that I know that this is in the game, I can actually check for stuff like this. I can do other stuff, like instead of morale and sacred, we have innate. I think I'm typing that right. No, probably just one in. Feels wrong. I don't think I spelled it right. Inherent, I know that one. And that's like perfection. But there's other ones that we as well. Dead Man's Hat. This one's pretty badass. This helmet increases by 2 the DC of all necromancy school spells. So remember our little necro witch that we have on our team? She's going to want stuff like this. This one's pretty interesting to watch this. The wearer temporarily becomes an undead creature. Literally, you put the hat on, and if you didn't go undead curse like I've done for that character, suddenly your con score would be wiped off the character sheet, and it would be going by your charisma. So this would be an amazing hat for someone that didn't have the mod that I have, the Eldritch Arcana. So again, a lot of cool stuff in here. You can play around as you see fit. This, by the way, and just to point this out, remember the reason that we're kissing the ass of Bakken, our only artisan right now? This is his biggie. This is the inherent bonus to all your ability scores. That's a +2 to strength, +2 to dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. He only gives you one. Make sure you're the main character and your main character drinks it. Solid upgrade. This is his ultimate achievement that it gives you, and you definitely want to unlock everything you can to get that. Somebody, I think, added these ones because I have yet to see them in the game. If they are in there, hey, that's awesome. But these are the tomes and the manuals that you're used to in the old pen and paper version of the game, where by reading this manual, once you burn up the book, but whoever reads it gets a +2 permanent bonus to their con, or to their dexterity, or to their strength, or to their, you get the idea. There's a book for each of your 6 stats. So if you get all 6 books, again, much like this potion, you could read them all and have that same +2 that this one potion is giving you. Now, I don't think that they would stack. So if these really are in the game, give this to your, test it first, of course, scum save it. Test it with the potion, see if it does stack. If it does, then that's a +4 to all your stats across the board. That's awesome. If that doesn't work, and I think it probably won't, if that doesn't work, then give these books, these tomes, these manuals to someone else on your team who's like your second favorite next to you. You drink the potion, and then every manual and tome that has a buff to it, you give to that one other teammate and make them awesome as well. That's fine. But like I said, this is how I plan out a character in advance. I can literally go and just check belts all day long. I can check a specific weapon. This is how I come to the conclusion that I like the longsword, because I can literally look for just straight up longswords. If I type it right. See what all the ones that are available in the game by name. Find out what they do. Some of these are kind of cheats, I think. Like someone added them to this mod. So don't trust that they're going to be in the game, that you'll find them. Yes, I can gift it to myself, but again, that's cheating. But I know several of these named ones are in the game. Usually if they have a name, like the Redeemer, it's in the game. Rage Claw, it's in the game. But these ones that are like the Speed Necrotic Longsword +2 of Shocking, Grasping, Frosting, Flaming, blah-de-blahs, you'll see ones that are just way more OP than they probably should be, and they have no actual cool name to them. I think that was added from the modder, which, you know, whatevs. It's cool. And again, I'm not stopping you from doing it, but notice that you can check for weapons this way. You can check for specific neck items. Robes fall under the category of your armor. So if you wanted to find robes, literally type in robe here, and more often than not, you'll find almost all of them. Not all of them are called officially robes, but they are clothing, and they don't count as armor, but they fit in the armor slot. A fine example, I don't see it in here. Valerie, if you type in her name, Valerie, search for it, she has an embroidered shirt. If you romance her enough, this is what she will gift you one day. The shirt grants its wearer a +5 persuasion skill bonus. I don't know what kind, I never put it on. And it's a +6 enhancement bonus to charisma. Pretty swanky gift, yeah? For a Scaled Fist Monk, that's a pretty solid buff. That's almost the highest buff we can give you for charisma. Just saying. For doing nothing more than, you know, being nice to the woman that you wanted to be nice to, that's a pretty sweet gift. So again, I'm just saying that you can look through stuff around here, know that some things aren't going to key off their names properly. Another fine example, if you wanted to find all the scimitars, you think typing in scimitar would cover you, right? This is almost all of them. Okay, all the named ones, the Slicer, the Jolt, Thundercrack is one of my favorites. The Thundering Claw of the Bear God's pretty baller, especially if you're like a druid. Blade of the Merciful, Divine Intervention, and I think that's about all the named ones that are here. There's one more that's not on this list, and the reason for it, it doesn't go by scimitar. It goes by cutlass, but it is a scimitar. Am I typing that right? Yeah, Faithful Companion. This +4 cutlass, a scimitar, grants us insight bonus, and that's how I found it, by typing in insight. Bonus to attack rolls, but only against flat-footed and flanked targets. But remember, I make targets flat-footed after the first swing. So, boom, hit them once, now they're flat-footed if I pass my intimidation check, and bam, 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 another +2 to my swing, and they're flat-footed, so it's just easier just to wail on a dude. So again, you can totally do this. Highly recommend you check it out. This mod is amazing. There's more to do here than that, and there's other stuff that I've added in here. I don't remember exactly where it is, probably in the character creation, but in one of these spots, I have specifically modded the game to be, where's my guy? To be that all my mercenaries have a 25 point buy. Normally they start off with 20, okay? So they're subpar to you. I don't like that, so that is one of the other changes I did do. But with that, let's get into our game. Okay, so we have passed, and I wanted to show you why I was super jazzed about getting level 9. It's not just the level up. Of course, I have 6 armor extra thanks to my intelligence and my 9 levels of Sword Saint. If I could ever get my intelligence up to a +9 over here, I'd have 3 more armor points. That's a lot. And that falls under that dodge category. So again, flat-footed doesn't do me a whole lot of good. But remember what we just picked up here. My intelligence bonuses added for my critical hit confirmation. That's awesome. Can use my Magus levels in place of base attack bonus. Over here, though, we already have at level 7 the intelligence modifier plus my dex modifier. So this +2 and this +6 are added together for my initiative check. I'm already at a +8 to my roll. Remember, everyone rolls 1d20, and then you add any modifiers from dex, and in my case, plus intelligence 2. I pump both these stats through the roof, and suddenly I'm swinging first almost all the time. And when we get down to here, it gets even better, because then we'll have stuff like, is it 19? Yeah, 19. You automatically roll a natural 20. I don't even roll the die anymore. It's just they give you a 20 plus your modifiers. So I could be at a retardedly high 30 or 40 level for my initiative check. Guaranteed every time we start a fight. That's why the Sword Saints are fun. Other reasons that I like going to 9 was not just this upgrade, not only the Shatter Defenses, but notice when I get to 10, I get to level 4 spells. So your spells for a Magus, I keep saying it wrong, Magus, is at 1, you get level 1 spells. At level 4, so 3 levels, you get another spell level unlocked. So this is level 2 spells, here's level 3, this is level 4. So right after 9, which is, again, a ways away, but a hop, skip, and a jump as far as I'm concerned. When I get to 10, I get 2 more spells, and they can be from level 4 spells. Guaranteed one of these spells will be Dimension Door if I haven't found a scroll for it already. Why is that important? Because there's still a place in this game you can scum and get a solo character with the right piece of gear and an invisibility spell and that teleportation spell they call Dimensional Door, you can teleport in and out, kill a very, very late game boss. Easy peasy, total cheese move, and get enough to go from 10 to probably like level 15. Going solo, again, XP share off, skill share off, so it only goes to the one person that's on the team, which is me. And boom, I'll be huge. And there's really epic loot there too to pick up. I'll show you that when we get there. Probably won't actually fight that doofus until 11 or 12, but I know where he's at. I have to get that one piece of gear, and that's not available to us yet. That's the one thing that's slowing me down from taking that jerk out. That and the fact I'm not level 10, you can teleport to him. But once you can get to that teleport, oh baby, it's sexy, sexy time. We are going... Where are we going? We're going all right back home. Lost Child. I want to get my team for this, though. But there was one other thing I wanted to do solo. What was it? A Sorrowflow. Okay, let's head back to base. I may burn 14 days. We might scum save this part to see if it works. What I mean is... Quick save. Remember, if I churn up 14 days, that kid may die. If we see that he failed the quest. Oh, by the way, 31 days in this month. This is going to suck. I'm going to pass on that and run. Hope for the best. Because he's at a -8, or -6 to strength and -6 to dex right now. Made it. It's important I get back to base before the end of the month. Remember, stuff shows up before the end of the month. If it's a problem, and the game can screw you like that, where, oh, you have 2 days to solve this problem, which means just put somebody on the job. I cannot handle that shit. So I always try to be back before the 1st for this reason. Check it. She looks so evil in that picture. That's awesome. 17 days, 4 and 4. Remember, this is the thing we're going to want to do. Okay, remember it takes 14 days and it will churn up 14 days on the clock. If I do that, these guys will finish their stuff. He will be 3 days away from finishing his thing, which of course is fine with me. Now the question is do I do it now or do I rest first and do it now? And you may think, oh, well, just do it now. In 14 days you'll be rested. Sadly, it doesn't work that way. I'm going to scum save it to prove it to you. Unless they've patched this out, literally churning up 14 days like this, you did not tell the game to rest, so they will literally go 14 days and I'll still have no spells and be tired, which is just stupid beyond all measure. But let's just show it to you. Remember, I have saved as a quick save, so we can scum it if we want to. P is for prosperity. Success, he's ranked 2, as you can see here. And again, see how it says provides 2 BP per week? Provides 1, 1, 1, and 1. Remember, if this was rank 3, right now it would only be giving me 2 BP, because it will only give you enough BP to match the highest level of your economy. That's why I say the economy has to be equal to or greater than all the other ranks. That's my goal. So I never miss out on BP. Best case scenario, of course. Success, success. So again, those 2 people had stuff going on. Notice that we have a letter for the ruler. Let's check this out first before we try to save it. I might save it again. If everything worked out fine, we can still go save that kid. Your Grace, today a letter from Brevoy was delivered to the castle. It was written by Fredero Sinet, a paladin from the Order of the Eternal Rose. It appears that Sir Sinet is claiming right to one of your companions who was brought up in his custody. Well, I'll leave it to you to handle this delicate matter. Letter from Fredero. Nothing else. Oh, they did patch it out. Look at that. I am rested. Oh, outstanding. I'm saving that then. Let's see. Where are we? I want to put my boots on. I forgot to do that last time. Remember, I bought those. I never equipped them. That's a nice mobility bump for me, as you can see here. Actually, though, now that I think about that, we want to give that to... See, you that it's my mobility person? Oh, you already have a pair. Well, okay then. So this is mine. Back to me. There we go. It'll help when I go solo. Alright. Anywho, I want to drop off that gem. So far we haven't sold it. And oh, look at, someone dropped off something for me. I didn't get that from anything, so someone must have just brought it to me as a gift. It wasn't what's his name? Blah, blah, blah. It's not Bakken, I don't think. He doesn't provide weapons. But the Heart of the Anvil can go here. Let's see. I have this selective meta magic rod. I don't want it. Move that there. That there. Okay. Have some stuff to sell. The old wedding ring. We need to go back and do that at the queen. The witch's hut. And we're keeping the demolisher on hand in case we need it. Same with the cold iron dagger. Even though I have my cold iron longsword and it'll always be with me, I still want to have another weapon for another teammate in case they need to just do some damage. Oh, but piece of sky metal. That's a new piece of stuff that will be forged into something. I'm not quite sure what that is. Oh, and as well as the rune covered scrap. That will be forged into something as well. Here's my third book. Now remember, we needed book 1 and book 2. And if you recall, we recently got a letter. Let's go look at that first. Go from newest to oldest. See this letter? Letter from Ferdero Sinet. Read it. I'm not going to go through it, but you can. I'll go slow here. Feel free to pause it. Read this next paragraph. Pause it. Read the last paragraph. Short version is this. He expects us to give Valerie, like she's a gift, back to him, and we're supposed to meet him at Oleg's. Well, that's perfect. We're going that way anyway to give Bakken his books. So, letter from the ruler. Okay, so that needed to be done. Notice that no one else is in projects except for him, and he's got 3 days left. 50% chance. So we really need to be somewhere in those 3 days where we can scum save it, right? And since we have all these advisors doing nothing, 4 of 5 doing nothing, we should probably do something. We could, do this, claim that other territory, but if we do that, again, 14 more days get burned up. How long are you going to leave that kid out there? Again, it's up to you. So far, we haven't heard that the kid died, so we probably are okay. I'm not going to do the training ones right now. Economy ones. We could do some of these. I'm not going to pillage the temple. We can't rebuild it without Jod. We could do the trade agreement one. That takes 15 days to solve. Notice the date. Why is that important? Because 15 and 14 makes 29, which means if something crops up by the end of the month where we have to put Jubilost on it, it's a perfect opportunity. So he finishes this, just make sure you're back by the 29th, and then swap him on to the other thing that he needs to do. So this is a good way to do stuff. Happy with this one, and again, the sooner you do it, the better off you are, because 1 BP per week, you need to burn up 100 weeks, and we will do way more than 100 by the end of this game. So we will get our money back with this, so this is totally worth, in my opinion. That just means, though, he's tied up for 15 days, though, which means I can't do, like, a region grab with him. Not that he was on the list, but I'm just saying, I couldn't do a rank up with him, because, again, he already has something to do. Again, if I do any of these, then, again, it will burn up another 14 days. I don't want to do that just yet. So nothing for rank up. We were happy with what we got for economy. Training, we're not going to dilly-dink around with that. We want to leave advisors available just in case, and there's nothing in the events. So, we've done what we wanted to do. Let's go put a team together. We need to go talk to Valerie. It's a quick check for... do I need to put anything away or talk to that advisor? We need to sell some stuff. We'll talk to him because I think I picked up a couple little trinkets here and there that he'll buy for me. Yeah, see, could you tell me one of your amazing stories again? Bought some relics. What do you got for me? Money. Money. Good deal. You'll commonly do that. And those are light items, so they don't weigh much. So we want to actually go to the town. Valerie's in the main square. And she's just outside your castle or whatever. Remember, she's over to the side here by the 2 guardsmen. Captain of the guard and a little dwarf woman who's another guard. So we need to take her the letter, and if you don't know that, here's why. Because I didn't go to my journal to show you. It specifically says, I think in there, you should probably show this to Valerie or some such. So, for companion quest, challenge chosen. This is Valerie from Responsibility, allow her to return to the service. I wonder what Valerie thinks of this. See that? How to build a kingdom. We already got a kingdom upgrade again. Notice that we got another test, unlock any secondary stat. So remember, we have 5 advisors. You want 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the 6th one we unlock, we'll finish, get a nice green check mark for that. So again, no big rush. It's important, but we're not killing ourselves to do it.
I'm off.
Let's go turn this into Val. She'll be pissed. Give Fredero letters to Valerie. Valerie, I've received a letter from Fredero Sinet. He says, I'm here to free you from the service and return you to Shelling. She gets all pissed off. She wants to deal with it immediately. And of course, expects us to go there. Then it's time for us to visit Oleg and Svetlana. So, off we go. Now, again, this will bleed, I'm sure, into your quest for romancing Valerie. How you behave will be important. If that's something that's important to you, again, look it up. I'm just going to buy some more. Well, first I'm going to offer stuff. Have all that garbage. And I don't want the star knife. No one uses it. I'll never use the S-stock. It's a nice weapon, by the way. That's the highest crit weapon. Again, the 18 to 20 range is your highest crit range without it being keen. It's a solid weapon choice, and I did an S-stock Saint. There's just not very many S-stocks in the game, sadly. So we're going to sell that, and no one else is going to use these lesser bracers or archery. I know it, so I'm just going to sell it. We have our 3 books. We want to keep those. And I wanted to buy some more camping supplies. So we're going to take only a team of 4 again. So Valerie will be our 4th. Okay, so you want to have enough for 2 campings. So let's do that. I'll come down to here now and bounce. First, just another quick reminder, make sure I'm not forgetting something. We did that. Time to go to Oleg's. Use for prosperity. Increase the bank ranks of barony stats 5 times. That's another kind of like a sub-quest thing to do.
Follow
okay.
If you dare.
Oh, before we do this, let's level up some peeps. Alright. This was probably part of those quest things that we were talking about. So, we have a rogue and a wizard combo. And remember, at level 5, the earliest I can get you to Arcane Trickster. Okay, because you need a Trickery of 4. Which as soon as you can pick that up is here. Same with Mobility, same with Knowledge Arcana. The problem is a lot of people make the mistake of thinking it's stealth, not mobility. I do that all the time, so always check this shit. Sneak attack 2. Remember, she got 1 from rogue here, and then we purchased another one here with accomplished sneak attacker. Otherwise, you would have had to go 3 levels of rogue, and that would have slowed you down. So that's not something that I want to do. It's not that that would have been horrible. You just want to get caster level 19 as a wizard, and that's going to make her awesome. So we're going to do Arcane Trickster, just to show it to you here. We have full spell progression, so 10 levels of it. No, what do you call these? Specialty upgraded classes are available past level 10. So we're going to take it all the way to 10 because all the cool stuff happens at 10. There's plenty of good stuff in between, as you'll see, but plenty of sneak attack stacking up beautifully, and then we'll go back to wizard for the other 9, or for a total of 9. So 1 level of rogue, 9 levels of wizard, 10 levels of arcane trickster will be this character's build. The reason that you wanted to go arcane trickster is not just the sneak attack, because again, I could have got that from being a rogue. I could have gotten that from doing vivisectionist, which is a subclass of alchemist. This guy here. See all that sneak attack loving? They don't get to cast bombs, but they get all kinds of cool shit besides. I could have went rogue like crazy. I think there's even one here. Yeah, Slayer has sneak attack in it. That's a new one. But again, Arcane Trickster was nice because of a couple things. One is impromptu sneak attack. This basically is saying that even if he shouldn't be sneak attacked, he gets sneak attacked. You can use it a certain number of days, or a certain number of rounds per day, excuse me. So 1 here, 2, 3, and then 4 at level 9. Notice also you get the Invisible Thief, basically a greater invisibility toggle that you can turn on and off at will. It's like a number of rounds per day equal to your trickster level, so maximum of 10. so you don't leave it on for full 10 rounds unless you really need to be invisible for 10 rounds. Just shut that shit off. But it helps for doing the sneak attack, right? And then here's the ultimate. At level 10, your spells do sneak attack damage. Not just your race spells, not just your melee touch attack spells. Those are normal to get sneak attack. No, I mean fireball sneak attack, lightning bolt sneak attack, chain lightning sneak attack. It's just gonna be amazing. She's gonna be very, very fun, trust me. And that is what makes her amazing. She will be specializing, of course, in ray casting, so that's still gonna be a thing. Know that she gets plenty of skill points because, again, intelligence is her bread and butter. You don't need to go more mobility anymore. You're done with that. Trickery, though, is always a viable option. I almost always push Arcana. She is a elf, so she gets a... Oh, no, she's a half-elf, excuse me. So she doesn't get a bonus to that. Thought she did. Perception, Persuasion, and use magic device, I guess, will be the one. So basically anything here that's 5 will go up, and these guys down here will start going up. I'll probably try to get Knowledge World to go, and maybe some into Stealth, just to add to it. Now, we do not have, and this is something that's added from my mod, a favored prestige class. That's what those things are called. Favored prestige class. I can do this now for Eldritch Swordlord, Arcane Trickster. If you grab this, it literally, because if you were seeing me level up before, you were seeing that I was getting like a choice between an extra hit point every level or an extra skill point every level. I don't get that for prestige classes unless you pick a favorite prestige class. See that? So it also provides some other things. I don't actually know what those other things are for this particular class, so maybe we should get it. But it's not in my build. Oh, this is not even my build. This is a different character. So let's do it. Let's try it. Favorite prestige class for Arcane Trickster. See what it does for us. Okay, so get a skill rank, just like normal. Favorite prestige class, Arcane Trickster. Okay, here's the other thing it gives you. Range, Legger Domain. This is basically allows you to trip traps and disarm traps and stuff like that. Use your trickery skill at range. The DC check gets 5 points higher, but basically you can do it safely, is the point. No one uses it, by the way, but you could. This is a nice thing here that you get a +2 bonus on checks using the skill you chose from the prestige class's class skills. If you have 10 or more ranks in one of these skills, the bonus increases to +4 for that skill. This bonus stacks with a bonus granted by skill focus, but does not stack with a bonus granted by any other feat, such as magical aptitude or persuasive. Okay, I didn't see anything else show up, so it could be broken. Yep. Okay, so here's the problem with this. Because I didn't pick Arcane Trickster before for the favored prestige class, because I didn't pick it before getting a level in Arcane Trickster, it glitches. So if you wanted this, you needed to pick it up back earlier, and obviously we're not doing that, so I need to actually back out of here and then start over again. Arcane Trickster, Wizard, skills, and the ones I care about. And my feat will be that one. Greater spell focus, transmutation, Mage Tattoo is a solid one, but she doesn't have precise shot yet, and she's been missing it. Remember, she shoots into combat, she has a -4 penalty. Now she doesn't. That was delayed because we really want to get accomplished sneak attacker here. Okay, so again, trade-offs. I am going to go for levels of spells. She's level 2 only, so she's the only one we can have access to. We can give her... She's already got some transmutation spells, but I'll give her Cat's Grace. And let's give her Lure for some protection. Ooh, she got another level. Look at her. Another die of sneak attack. Very, very nice. And you again. Now we're at level 3 stuff, which is sweet, right? So here's what she has at level 3 already that we got from scrolls. Notice that there's only one here in that whole list. That's a thumbs down that we've picked up already. That's Dispelled Magic. Then we have Vampiric Touch and all these Abjuration spells. So Necromancy and Abjuration is the one that she doesn't like. Not that you don't want to grab these spells. They just remember they take twice as many spell slots to make one spell casting. But make sure she has at least a transmutation spell. She has 3. But if you feel like doing some debuffing, remember she's really good at transmutation. Why not get the slow spell? But here's the one that you really want. Because she's going to be a ray caster, Battering Blast is a ray spell. It's a ranged touch attack spell. Same difference. You can sneak attack that thing is the point. You only get 1 beam right now, but then at level 10, caster level, you can have 2. You can get 3 at level 15. You can get 4 at level 20. Well, Brother Mutant, she's never going to be level 20 caster. As you know, you have 1 level of rogue. Why, yes, class, that is true. So if you look at her spell book, you'll see that she's, even though she's level 6, she only has caster level 5. That's because of her rogue level. There's a way around that. Remember when we talk about feats? One of the feats that you wanted to pick up, she hasn't grabbed it yet. I specifically said we could get it, but we delayed it. And it's a feat called Mage Tattoo. That will allow her to cast her transmutation spells at 1 level higher. Now that doesn't do her a lot of good because that spell is an evocation spell. There's another way around it. And again, I'll show that to you when we get another level because she needs a feat to unlock it. And I'll show that to you then. Here's Tristan. I'm just going to flash through his because he's pretty generic. Level 6 cleric. He gets this beautiful healer's blessing where his heals are 50% stronger. Doesn't stack with the empowered metamagic feat, but basically it's like giving them metamagic of empowered by default, which is pretty awesome. Just like that. Healer's blessing. Done. Check our spell book for him first. Give him a... I'm going to get rid of that one. I'll take a hold person so we can paralyze people. Lesser restoration because sometimes that's going to come in handy. Just to have it in your back pocket. For here, Animate Dead. He's got delayed poison already. Let's get the resist energy communal. Her turn. Basically, if it's a ray spell, you kind of want it on her person at this point. So, where did it go? Scorching Ray. Twice. Here, we'll do slow because she'll get a bonus to any transmutation spell because she has spell focus and transmutation. We'll get a whole person and a battering blast. And that's good. Alright, now we're done toying around. Let's take the team. So Valerie's coming. And one of my 2 teammates. Boom and boom. Except. It's going to be epic. Valerie's going to get her ass handed to her. I'm here to tell you right now. That you can buff her up, and she would need to be with the party all this time so she could be appropriate level, for one thing. But the guy that's going to fight her is just going to kick her ass. You can buff her up, but it doesn't change the outcome, from what I understand. So there's that. Quick save. We want to stay in their zone, so if something happens, remember that guy is going to finish his quest, or his duties in 3 days. So on the 3rd day here, we'll get a red exclamation point. Doesn't mean he succeeded, just means that we should check in on him. And we may have to scum save that, because if he fails it, then we need to go back in time, try it again. Fails it, go back in time, and we're going to pass everyone we can pass that way. So first, here we go. Now we could talk to him first, but he's a tool and I like him. And I want to give these books to Bakken before I forget. About those tasks of yours. Is this the book you want me to find? Here's the 2nd book, and here's the 3rd book. Well, 3 volumes. And thank you for your help. I'll send word once I found something, and we just got a decent chunk of XP. And again, we can even grab... He's our potion guy, right? So we can even grab stuff from him again. Jubilos, remember, when he's on the team, we have a lot of fun with healing, because Jubilos is healing us way better than we could normally do so. I'm going to grab one of each of those, one of each of them, and a lesser restoration too. And I'll take both of those because they're on discount. Matter of fact, you don't grab both of them, you don't it. Might as well grab stuff from him, but you can while it's on discount. He's going to be broke. Because, well, not broke, he's going to be rich with money because he's going to be without any items pretty soon. Now we want to do a quick save. You can buff Valerie up for this, like I said. I'm not going to. Shield. But you could. You could literally buff her with spells, give her heroism, and all kinds of other stuff to increase your chance to hit this doofus, but it's probably not worth it. A middle-aged man in polished, shiny armor turns to you. His beard and hair are impeccably styled, and an expression of reserved politeness sits frozen on his face, as his piercing gray eyes watch everything attentively. Baron Dora, what an honor to meet you in person. I am Fredero Sinet, paladin of the most illustrious Shellen from the Eternal Rose Order. Fredero looks at Valerie. There you are, Valerie. How many years has it been since we saw each other? I am so happy that the years haven't erased the divine bliss written upon your radiant face. Valerie nods to Sinet coldly. Greetings. I'm glad to see you in good health, Fredero. I think you should talk to Valerie alone. Tell me, Fredero, why are you here? The paladin looks right at you. As I mentioned in my letter, my goal is to return Valerie to Shellen's grace. Several years ago, a terrible mistake was made. She whose fate was determined before she was born decided to resist her calling. I would appeal to Valerie's mind and remind her of her duty. He said duty. You speak as though I am incapable of understanding where my duties lie. You have given me much cause for doubt. You are from the Eternal Rose Order, right? Exactly. I once guarded works that showed Shellen's blessings. Works of art, beauty, and love. That's a path for young and energetic paladins and priests. Now I've become a mentor in the Order. Many servants of Shellen, who now guard her creations, were brought up by me, and I'm sure Valerie would have surpassed them all had she not left our ranks. You know Valerie as a girl? Tell me about her. Fredero smiles pensively. Do I possess the words to describe the chosen of Shellen? Oh, don't look at me like that. I'm not the only one who believes it. A special role has been prepared for this girl in the ranks of the Eternal Rose's followers. I'm sure you've noticed Valerie's greatest virtue. She's impeccably loyal to whatever or whomever she serves. That's right. She serves me, so piss off, loser. Her father did the right thing in sending his daughter into Shellen's embrace, and Valerie's departure from the Order was just an unfortunate mistake of youth. I'm sure she regrets her desperate mistake, driven by hurt feelings and rash judgment. Only shame and pride have kept her from admitting it. Her true place is in the radiance of glorious Shellen. My departure wasn't a mistake. It fixed someone else's mistake, which caused me to waste a few years of my life. Where are you planning to go? When Valerie joins my entourage, we will travel west to the borders of Pitax. There, a new temple to my divine patron is being built, an architectural wonder worthy of harboring the very spirit of the Eternal Rose. One of the newer orders of Shellen will occupy the temple, or the Order of Prisms. Their zeal in serving the goddess will be good for Valerie. She has much to unlearn if she expects to return to Shellen's favor and the respect of her brothers in faith. You can barely hear Valerie's voice. I'm so tired of orders from those I despise. I think you should talk to Valerie alone. Don't go, Your Grace. My intentions are known to all. Valerie, I have come to return you to our faith. Our? Now you imagine that not only do I want to serve Shellen, but now I have faith in her too. Oh, snap. Fredero Sinet says, he shakes his head. I don't recognize you, Valerie. What is this tone you address me with? I remember what politeness and respect you showed your elders. We held you up as an example for the other novices. Valerie raises her chin ever so slightly. I'm only repaying your courtesy in kind, Fredero. If you so easily ascribe to me thoughts and aspirations that I do not possess, then I can be as liberal a judge of your behavior. Okay, so now again, you can shut up, which is probably for the best, or you can piss off Valerie by telling her to calm the hell down, cooler jets, or you can say, watch your tongue, Fredero. But now here's the thing. I'm going to do this one because that's what I would do. Does it work out for us? Watch your tongue, Fredero. You're on my lands. You will respect my subjects. Fredero gives you a respectful look and nod. In no way did I intend to be impolite. Forgive my manners. It's difficult for me not to address Valerie as a novice, for that is what she was the last time I saw. Valerie chimes right in. As my return to the church, which you so bluntly insist upon, Valerie pulls her chin up. Please, Fredero, spare me your wordy speeches. The day I walked out the convent gates, I made a decision I'm not going to change. I'm never returning to the Eternal Rose Order. I'm never going back to serving Shellen. Whatever nonsense you started with your letter, let's put an end to it once and for all. Fredero studies Valerie's face for a long time. His eyes turn steel gray. I don't believe my ears. I expected to see repentance, Valerie. Repentance for your foolish choices. Repentance for the pain you've caused your family and all those who relied on you. But instead, I see a proud renegade who dares to resist the will of the goddess and who would defy me, the one who labored to bring you up and teach you. Red spots start to appear on Valerie's cheeks. She catches her breath with some difficulty. I am not in the least bit surprised by your words, Fredero. You have always been deaf to anything that goes against your beliefs. I'm not Shellen's chosen. I'm not a god's toy. created to entertain the whimsical goddess. I'm not. Fredero Sinet screams, "Quiet! Quiet before you bring her wrath upon you! How dare you? Who is bestowed with celestial beauty so insolently rejects such gifts that others can only dream about? Your fate is already decided, laid out as a fine carpet before you. Enough! I didn't come here to listen to a spoiled child speaking out of turn, but only to bring you home. And I will take you by the ear and drag you all the way to the Order's convent if that's what it takes." Oh, hell, bro. Again, here's where we can chime in. "I think we need to calm down a little bit, or one more word in it and your head will be decorating the nearest fence." I like that one. Valerie slices the air with her hand. "Stay out of it, Dora." See what I said? It's not going to end well for us. You get pissy. Fredero might be crossing the boundaries of politeness, but no more than that. Stay your hand and allow me to finish. I was just trying to help. I was meant to support you. Valerie interrupts you. She is almost screaming. "What you call home, Fredero, was my prison. My home is here in these lands, for which the Baron and I have fought and shed our blood. Here, beside the one I vowed to serve and whom I shan't leave until I die. Here in the Stolen Lands, where for the first time I can decide for myself where I belong and what I believe." Valerie's voice grows soft, almost like a hissing snake. "Take your people, Fredero, and go back to the Eternal Rose Abbey. And if you've the nerve to claim I'm Shellen's chosen, well, know that your precious goddess should have chosen her trinkets more carefully." Oh, hell, it's on. Fredero grows white as a sheet. "How dare you?" Well said, Valerie. Fredero looks Valerie in the eye. The paladin's hand is on his weapon. "If you insist on standing equal to Shellen's paladin, answer for your words now. If you have a drop of dignity left, you won't deny me satisfaction." Valerie looks at the enraged paladin and fearlessly. "Oh, so now I'm suddenly an independent person in your eyes? Finally. Well then, I shall agree to this duel with indescribable pleasure. Dora, you shall be my second." As you say, Valerie, what will you have me do? The second's responsibilities include observing the fight, mediating in the duel, and should the circumstance require, declaring the final verdict. Valerie reaches for a weapon. "I think here is good enough. Step away, Dora. I don't want to hit you by accident." XP gain. Fredero says, "Let's see whether you learned anything more than insolence from your mercenary friends." Motherfucker just called me a mercenary. I'm gonna freaking slice his throat after this is over. Jackhole. I like this guy. "One of my squires will be my second. Would everyone please clear the dueling ground and do not interfere until a winner has been determined." This is Svetlana and Oleg, by the way. "What are you doing here?" "Don't worry, good master. We'll settle our argument quickly and do no harm to your trading post." "Come on, Val. You can kick his ass. You can do it. I trained you well. Give in to hate." Oh, wait. That's the wrong. Sorry. "I am Fredero. Let your second start the countdown. Let's do this. Let's begin. Participants, please ready your weapons and assume your positions." Now, again, I think this turn-based combat again, but only for these two.
Victory!
So he's, of course, a paladin and gets to cheat with spells. Valerie can fight defensively, and that's about all she's really got going for her. And she sucks at it because, again, it's a penalty to her swing. A massive one. So you really are not going to hit this dude. You have to really buff up or just not fight defensively. And even then, she's still not going to hit him because she's got a +9 now. He's got a 31 armor. So you need a 22 to hit him. Well, of course, the game allows a nat 20 to hit. So again, you can get lucky. That's about all you're going to get. If you haven't really pushed Valerie with some really sick gear and some buffs to her attack bonus, maybe some strength gear as well to increase her attack bonus that way, she's barely going to scratch this dude. And he does this all cheating, crappy ass divine weapon bullshit.
Onwards!
Uh-oh. She
Stay
bleeding.
behind me! Let us strike as one! I can't keep this up much longer.
And that's the fight. Fredero steps back and sheathes his weapon. Looks like everything's in its place, doesn't it? You could be however insolent to whomever you wanted, as long as you were considered as a girl, Valerie, but now you'll have to answer for all the stupid things you said in pride or heated moments. I'm satisfied with the outcome of this duel. I see no reason to linger here, upsetting the owners of this trading post and the Baron. With great sadness, I will continue my way without Valerie, who from now on has no right to return to the Order of the Eternal Rose due to her transgressions. I will bother you no longer. My regards, your grace. Valerie. Frodero stopped short. Farewell. He just wanted to beat on her. What a jerk. Piss off, you losers. Hate you guys. And here's the sad part. Dear gods, your face, Valerie. That was Svetlana. I don't know why they popped up my picture. What? Is there something? Valerie touches the wound crossing her face and looks at the blood on her fingers, more baffled than scared. And again, you can talk about how she's now a hideous freak and that if you're trying to romance her, probably not the way to go. But I just go with let me heal you. She touches the wound again, winces, and finally waves it off. It is nothing. I do not even feel any pain, only fatigue. Save your pity for someone who is truly wounded. And I just need to rest and wash myself clean after all these conversations about Shellen. She really hates that goddess, man. I think it was more about people constantly telling her what to do. That's my interpretation of it. You know, her dad sent her off to this convent or whatever to become a paladin. We are bouncing out of here. We did our quest with Oleg. Or with Bakken, excuse me. Time to get out of here. We'll take a look at our journal, make sure there's not something we need to do. Probably need to talk to Val when we get back to base is my guess. Let's see. Ancient formula. This is Bakken's. Wait for news from Bakken. Easy peasy. Valerie. Shellen's chosen. Talk to Valerie at the capital. Yep, okay. Just like I figured. Now, we have a little time. Again, we have lands. These are claimed lands. Remember, the outskirts are ours. So if I wanted to pick up some, what do you call it? Resources, barony resources. I can go around to these nodes that are in the outskirts. They're for 15 BP, which we have more than enough. We can grab this one, maybe grab that one. Hell, I can even go here and grab this one. So that would be a plus, what is this? 1 loyalty, plus 1 loyalty again, and a +2 military. So again, I can do that if I want. We might as well. We're already in the area. Oh, it just makes you actually go there physically, sorry. You can't just click it. Claim it. Go here. Of course, that's our city or other town. Yeah, let's fight. What the hell? More XP for Valerie and her wounded face. Poor kid. Scarred hideously. She used to be a beauty.
Stand with me.
Oops. Walk right into that. Okay, well, you know what? You guys need skeletons on your faces. Suck it, loser. Skeletal champions! Go get them! Nice. Dora, you're gonna come up here. And magic missile this for you. Nice. Valerie, can you charge? You can. Get pissed. Take it out on bandits. That's the best way to do things, I find. Otherwise we'll just loot the bodies. We don't have much to carry, so free stuff is free, right? And we'll bounce out of here. We're working our way back to the main capital. Remember, we had that 3-day cooldown for the other guy to turn in his quest. So we're basically kind of killing time. So long as we can see this lit up, we're good to go. Just quick save every once in a while. The minute it goes with a question mark, we want to actually investigate to see if he passed the check. Notice we have 327 BP, so again, we're always over 100. I'd like to keep it closer to 2. 15 BP is going to get burnt up, but it gives us +1 to our loyalty permanently. Awesome. And go to this one. The reason this one's letting us claim it by clicking it, or let me travel to it by clicking it, is because we actually physically went there. It's not just something we unlocked on the map. We actually physically walked to it and walked away from it. Alright, so we have a bandito. And another bandito. Where's this one at? South of us, it looks like. Oh, right behind us. Okay, so we have one behind us, one in front. Dora, it's time for you to do this. Poof.
This will hurt!
I won't be able to swing, but guess what? When they shoot with their bow, unless they have point-blank master for their bow, which allows them to shoot in point-blank range without causing any problems, they will get an attack of opportunity, which means I get a chance to swing at them. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. I love my little gobos. And it's free treasure, which seems broken to me. I know it's not much, but hell, man, if I sell it every time, I mean, that's like $50. And it replaces my not short bow, was it short sword that I need to summon them. This is pretty funny to me. He died. Take that. Take this one. Everybody come up here. And we can wait for the gobos to die, but there's really no point. Well, I need to make sure I have another short sword. I do. So we can just leave. So, we'll keep cruising on to this next spot. It's about an hour, but we'll get to the next spot and claim it first. We're close to Sorrowflow, but looks like we can't go this way. There's not like a bridge that hops over. So we're going to have to traverse until we find the bridge that hops over. You see, we're fatigued and now we're exhausted for that character. It's okay, because she never gets tired. Yep, and there's our little... Did he pass it? Or did we scum save? It was a 50-50 chance. Failure, yeah. So that means we need to go back in time. Probably need to pick up... Yeah, we never grabbed that one. We need to save right after this. Claim it. Travel. Make sure that you're within your kingdom when you do your save. Otherwise you wouldn't know if you made the check or not. We'll do this fight here. And again, another little summons. We'll go a long way. Oh, this is an easy fight. Who's first? Dora. Feel free to snowball that. Boom. He's gone. Where's the other one? Oop, right behind us. Hey, bro. Good story. Boom. Cheap. I'll grant you.
Give the order.
But it's XP. And it's skins that we can sell. Okay. We'll hop to the land, to the map. Okay.
We should gather our strength.
Quick save. Continue. Did we get it? Success. +6 divine. That was definitely worth. It was an opportunity, so technically speaking, I didn't have to scum save those ones. But I'm not a fan of losing if I don't have to. Now here's again. Problem. Notice the date. We have 8th month by the 1st of the 9th month. So literally before this month ends, someone has to be on this. And it's recommending Tristan over the other guy because of the red swatch. I'm assuming that's what that means. So we're going to do that. He has a 65% chance. It will take 10 days to solve. So by the 27th, before this month is even over, he should be done. Which is good because if something happens where we need Tristan again, we have time. So again, this is where you take out your pen and pad and write down the date to keep track of it. Now, I'm not going to press our luck here. We're going to rest, but first we need to stop the video and start it back up again. So I'll be right back.